Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ramil Dunford, and this is
Angela Bell.
And this is
Brigham White.
And welcome to Computer Parts 101. This here, guys, this is a Ethernet cable, aka a RJ45 cable, which is a network cable that is used for high-speed connections between two devices such as computers, switchers, and also routers. This is a HDMI cable. HDMI stands for High Definition Multimedia Input Cable. It is basically a combination of an assembly of audio and video cables that transmit digital audio and video signals. This right here is the CMOS battery. And what it does is it gives power to the CMOS chip. One interesting fact about this is people get this confused with the CMOS chip.
This is the CPU. It stands for Central Processing Unit, and its main job is to run the programs of the computer. It communicates with RAM using the binary code, and it is married to the RAM because you cannot have one without the other. This is RAM. It stands for Random Access Memory, and it is a hardware device that allows info to be temporarily stored and retrieved on a computer. It determines how fast and well a computer performs. This is the power supply. It converts AC currents to DC currents. This powers the motherboard, RAM, CPU, hard drive, and disk drive.
This is BIOS. BIOS has ROM on it. ROM stands for read-only memory. Read-only memory means it's very difficult, or rather impossible, to change the information on it. That's why the information is sent to the CMOS chip. This is the CMOS chip. The CMOS chip is a memory bank powered by a battery that is used to keep the time and the date when the computer is not running. This is the heatsink. The heatsink is used to direct heat away from the CPU to keep the CPU from overheating. This is a very important factor in part of the computer to keep the computer from shutting down and losing all your progress.
To install the CMOS battery, there's a lever on top of the CMOS where the battery needs to be placed. You pull back the lever and you place the battery and you push down till you know it's there on tight. To install the HDMI cord, you take the HDMI High Definition Multimedia Interface and you plug it into the HDMI port. The connection, you take your Ethernet cable and you plug it into the Ethernet port. And it's going to be a click, so you know there's going to be sound. Also, if it was powered on, right now we're trying to do the safety, but if it was powered on, there would be a light that blinks right here telling you that you have connection. Simple HDMI cord. You take it by the sides and literally just pull it apart. Try not to bend or anything because you will mess up the HDMI port. And that port being messed up can cost you a lot of money. So it's a simple install and a tug out to enable it. To disable an Ethernet cable, you take it by either the top or bottom, because it could be either. There's going to be a flap. You pinch down the flap and then you pull. And now it has came out of the computer.
To install RAM onto the motherboard, make sure that the notches on the RAM stick and the notches on the PCI slot are aligned. Install where the white clips are on both ends and push inward. To place the power supply back into the computer case, slide it under at an angle and push down. Then you will proceed to put all the wires back, plug in all ports, and also put your screws back in as well. Install install the CPU, simply push down on the latch. Unlatch it, push it back, and gently lift the CPU. To place the CPU back onto the motherboard, make sure that the notches that are lined out here match exactly with the notches on the CPU board, and make sure you place it down very carefully. Don't push. Then make sure that this is lined up right underneath this circle here. Push this latch forward and hook it underneath. To remove the power supply, you will need to first disconnect the cables, as I am showing here. And also lift up the hard drive. Next, you will need a screwdriver to unscrew the power supply from the actual computer case. Now that everything is unscrewed, simply push it forward, tilt it at an angle,
The way that you put the heatsink back in is that you place it right above the CPU. You line up the screws and you screw up each of the screws into the holes and you plug it back into the motherboard.